Scream fans cannot catch a break, man. It's been another very rough weekend for Scream 7, as basically the entire opening scene has leaked online. So as you guys know, the point of this page is not to spoil movies. I'm not here to just throw out all the spoilers for a flick, even though they are readily available anywhere you go online. I have seen them on every single platform imaginable. In this video, I don't plan on going through everything that we just learned about the opening scene, because frankly, that's just not the point of this page. I don't want to spoil movies. I want to build excitement for upcoming flicks, because I am excited for Scream 7, even though I just had the opening scene completely spoiled. There is one thing I will share about it in today's video, which is the location of said opening scene. If you don't want to know that, however, I would recommend skipping this video. I will not be getting into the who or how this scene ultimately wraps up, which are obviously two very big portions of it if you've had it spoiled for yourself. One more time though, I will talk about the location of the opening scene. If you do not want to know that, I would highly recommend skipping this video. I also have reason to believe that these leaks are 100% true based on some other information that I know, which I may be sharing in today's video as well. Now let's get into another very unfortunate update in Scream 7's history, as well as some information on when the trailer is going to drop. Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, if you're still trying to be excited for Scream 7 just like me, please make sure to subscribe to this page for more updates on the film before its release next year. Also, the best way to support the channel is by becoming a member, where you'll receive exclusive weekly review videos, badges, and emojis on live streams, and a ton more. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get into the updates. Now before we get into the big leak, I want to talk a little bit about the trailer. Lots of different things are going around about when the trailer is actually going to drop, including a new rumor saying it's coming out next week. I really hope this is true. That would be awesome to see that trailer early, but I don't think it is. So Daniel Richtman recently reported that the Scream 7 trailer was heading to theaters to screen before The Conjuring Last Rites, which literally drops next weekend. So I don't think that this is going to happen for a number of reasons. First of all, the Conjuring franchise is distributed by Warner Bros. This is like one of their flagship horror series for the last like 10 years or so. Why would they debut the trailer for the flagship Paramount distributed series during their new Conjuring flick? That just doesn't make any sense. Warner Bros. Has also had a stellar year with horror releases. It's not like they need any like assistance or anything, any other reasons to go and check out the new Conjuring flick. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Weapons and Sinners, two of the most successful original horror movies this decade, both came from Warner Bros. They're doing just fine. And secondly, this would completely go against the very successful marketing strategies of Screams 5 and 6. Why would they change that up? Don't fix what ain't broke. Whatever y'all did for Screams 5 and 6, do the same damn thing here for Scream 7. Viewer Anon, a third-party source that I personally trust, has also reported that this is a false claim, and that his previous update that the trailer is being attached to Paramount's The Running Man this November is likely still happening. I know a lot of Scream fans are just excited to see the trailer. They want to see it tomorrow, as do I. But realistically, they're probably going to follow a similar marketing strategy to what they did with the last two flicks, because that really worked. I mean, did you see the box office polls of both Screams 5 and 6? Don't switch that up, man. Release that trailer 3 months before and then do a bunch of like crazy goofy stuff in between. Like, remember when Ghostface was hanging out in front of different buildings and was caught on security cameras? Do that stuff in that little 3-month period. But if they release the trailer too far before the film comes out and then they're just kind of sporadically doing little stuff all over the place, it's not going to build the same amount of hype. All of us are going to show up no matter what, even if the opening scene for the film leaks online. But what that 3-month marketing period is all about is getting that general audience to show up. That's where the majority of your box office pull comes from. So I'm speculating we're not going to see that trailer until The Running Man drops on November 14th. Look out for it with that one though. All right, now let's get into the weeds of this pretty massive leak. Like I said earlier, go no further if you don't want anything about Scream 7 spoiled. I have reason to believe that this is likely how the movie is going to open. Now, just like I said in the opening, I don't plan on talking about who is actually getting gutted here, because I just feel like that takes away from the overall murder mystery and any theories we could concoct until basically the movie comes out in February. Where's the fun in that? But let's talk a little bit about that location, where this opening scene is going to take place, and how I think that's going to influence the rest of the movie. So one more time, spoilers ahead, you have been warned. So according to this leak, the opening scene of Scream 7 is going to take place at 261 Turner Lane, but not during a flashback, in the present day. I heard this a while ago from an anonymous source, and I was trying to keep it a secret up until until that release date, but unfortunately now it is just out there wild running about. I knew about the location, but I did not know it was going to be present day, making me think, oh, this is probably going to be some sort of flashback to like 1995 Woodsboro before the events of the original flick. I feel okay with sharing the location, because I think what's interesting about this is we can start to kind of talk about what Ghostface's motive this time around is. If he or she is going back to Stu's house, obviously he has to be connected to the past, which is something we've already speculated a ton on this page. The movie is a return to form. We're focusing on Sydney again. I think it has to be something that ultimately goes back to the events of the 1996 attacks. This is just more confirmation of that. So yes, I think Ghostface is motivated by something that happened in the past, but I know I'm gonna get this comment. I do not think it's Stu Macher who is still alive. Here's the thing about all this. We already know that Scream 8 is in the works based on that Production Weekly report. Why would they kill the momentum of the Stu is alive crowd by actually bringing him back? That would be one of the biggest mistakes this franchise could ever make. As long as you have characters in universe theorizing that maybe Stu could still be alive, you'll have people argue that, oh, that's a good reason for why he's still out there somewhere. That will drive an entire demographic of people to continue to see these movies. But the moment you bring him back, that's when maybe that entire crowd loses interest. I cannot stress this enough. That would be one of the biggest mistakes that they could make, to just completely stomp that out. The studio obviously wants to make more Scream films considering how profitable the last two were, and 7's on the way with 8 after that. They're probably gonna do this Kirby spin-off we've been talking about, and a Scream 9, and a Scream 10, and a Scream 11. Let's just be real here. Some people don't want to hear that, but this is a franchise that can endure. It has a lot of fans, and even younger people are really vibing with it too. This thing could go on forever. It's a cash cow for them, and one of the reasons to come back is to see Matthew Lillard potentially involved, and he has been involved in many of the sequels, including this one. Why not just keep bringing back Matthew as like some sort of spirit or whatever, or maybe some sort of flashback that connects to the new events of the next movie that they make or whatever. That on top of the fact that Scream films are not Marvel flicks, where death means literally nothing. Death is final for characters in this series, and the moment that that stops is the moment that a lot of people are going to be turned away. Kirby Reed is the only character that you can argue that they've brought back, but Wes Craven has even tweeted about how maybe she was still alive. Bringing back Kirby Reed was a way of honoring Wes Craven. Bringing back Stu Macher is just dumb fan service. The moment that death doesn't mean anything in this franchise is when the series goes from thoughtful popcorn movie to mindless cash grab. I'd hate to see that happen to a franchise that, as it stands right now, is maybe the very best slasher series out there. Dewey's death, for instance, was an insanely emotional moment, and one of the very best scenes in the entire franchise thus far. To take something like that away and make it mean nothing by bringing him back would sour one of the best things about Scream 5. Scream is such an effective slasher series because it does something that most other slashers don't even really care to do, building up characters across multiple movies, and sometimes giving them a fitting death when their arc is over. Don't rip away one of those crucial elements to this series just for like a minute of fan service. I would bet my bottom dollar that the killer is somebody connected to the original events of the 1996 murders, like maybe Leslie Macher, Stu's sister. It's still pretty soap opera-y, but it's not as bad as completely laying waste to this franchise by saying that Stu Macher's death means nothing. And mind you, that's one of the most important deaths in this entire franchise. That would undo so much of what has happened in the sequels that are all just a straight line narrative. There is one more little inkling of very spoilery information that I know about Scream 7 that I got from an anonymous source that may or may not have worked on the film. It makes me think that dead ghost faces are not coming back to life in this upcoming flick. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm like a 75. I'm a cool 75% on that. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm bummed that this pretty sick sounding opening scene has been spoiled for me. Don't go digging online, you'll find it, but I'm still excited to see it on February 27th of next year, as well as seeing that trailer likely come this November. How do you guys feel about Scream 7? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching, please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.